There was a man named Adrian who lived in a quiet neighborhood outside of Denver, Colorado. He was in his mid-30s, worked in tech, had a decent apartment, a gym membership he rarely used, and a life that, from the outside, looked completely fine. But inside his head, things were anything but fine. Adrian's mind never stopped talking. Even in silence, it was loud. He overanalyzed every conversation. He replayed old mistakes from college like they happened yesterday. He imagined arguments that hadn't even happened yet. Sometimes he couldn't sleep for hours because one stray thought would spiral into a full-blown mental storm. He hated that he couldn't control it. He read books about mental discipline, tried journaling, even downloaded a meditation app. But nothing really worked. His brain felt like a runaway train, and he was always chasing it, never driving it. One Sunday morning, Adrian went for a walk near the edge of town. There was a lake trail he'd visited once as a teenager. For some reason, he felt pulled toward it that day. Maybe he was just tired of hearing himself think. As he walked the trail, he saw an old man sitting on a bench by the water. Nothing unusual, just a guy feeding ducks with slow, careful hands. Adrian sat at the other end of the bench and stared out across the lake. After a while, the man said without turning, "You look like your head's louder than this whole lake." Adrian blinked. "Excuse me?" The man chuckled softly. "You're not talking, but I can hear you thinking from here." Adrian sighed. "Yeah, I can't turn it off." The man nodded, tossed a piece of bread into the water and said, "Most people try to shut their minds up, but that never works. You can't silence a wild dog by yelling louder. You wait, you breathe, you stop chasing every bark." Adrian looked at him. "So, what do I do?" "Start watching instead of reacting," the man said. "When a thought comes, let it pass like a train. Don't hop on, just notice it." Adrian frowned. "That sounds too simple." The man smiled. "It is. But simple isn't easy." That night, Adrian tried something new. When his thoughts started spiraling, instead of fighting them, he just noticed. There's that old regret again. There's fear talking. There's that voice saying I'm not enough. He didn't argue with the voice. He didn't obey it either. He just watched. And something strange happened. The thoughts didn't stop, but they lost their grip. The more he noticed them without reacting, the weaker they became. Like clouds in the sky, heavy-looking but harmless once you stop trying to grab them. Over the weeks, Adrian practiced this every day. He sat in silence for 10 minutes each morning, just breathing, just watching. He learned that the mind is like a wild horse. If you try to wrestle it into submission, it bucks harder. But if you stay still long enough, it calms down on its own. Adrian still had bad days, but now he had distance. Instead of drowning in his thoughts, he stood at the shore, watching them roll in, then drift away, and for the first time in years, he felt free. Not because his thoughts were gone, but because they no longer owned him. So friends, you don't win by fighting your mind. You win by learning to observe it without reacting. Control isn't about force. It's about awareness without attachment.